do? I'm sure you must have a voracious appetite.
I do, but nothing like what I used to. I mean, I fast pretty much every day. Like,
are you doing 16 hours? What are you doing?
It depends. So I split my time between New York and California. When I'm in New York, it's absolutely one meal a day, no ifs, ands, or buts, because it's just the schedule is such that I'm seeing patients in the morning and afternoon, and I don't want to waste time to eat. So
what are you doctoring?
That's a good question. I mean, I trained as a surgeon and did cancer surgery. But my practice is based on longevity. So it's sort of how do you apply nutrition, exercise, sleep, stress management, endocrinology, lipidology, supplements, hormones, all that stuff. Like how do you engineer how to make somebody live longer is my clinical interest. So in New York, I eat one meal a day. So it's basically like a 22-hour fasting window, and then I'm feeding within a 2-hour window.
Wow.
When I'm here, it's about the same. Well, I mean, yesterday and today it's the same. Like, today has just been kind of a busy day. I won't eat till dinner tonight, but my short fast would be 16 hours where I would eat.
That's a short fast.
That would be a short fast.
That's a long one for me.
Really? Yeah. Dude, you got to get in touch with your evolutionary self. I had this discussion with a friend this morning because he was saying to me he can't do 16 hours.
Well, he's a pussy.
No, and I was like,
I said he's a pussy.
You just told him. No, but I said, you got to understand, if our ancestors couldn't function when they were hungry, we wouldn't be here. So it's not just that starvation, a short-term adaptation to starvation is necessary. It's probably beneficial. In other words, during these short periods of deprivation of food, we get just a little bit more epinephrine and norepinephrine. We just get a little bit sharper, a little bit better. I can't even remember what it's like to eat 3 meals a day. It's been so long.
Really?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this? I
mean, I've been doing crazy shit for 10 years, nutritional-wise. Like, I spent 3 years in ketosis, where it was actually one day I was in ketosis for 3 years. Lots of fasting, but I think intermittent fasting or time-restricted feeding, probably at least 5 years.
And for people listening, what are the benefits of that?
Well, I mean, if we're going to get really technical, we have to be clear that I think a lot of the benefits are overstated. And a lot of the benefits are things that we've only studied in animals. So there's a guy named Sachin Panda at the Salk Institute in San Diego who's, I think, one of the world's experts on time-restricted feeding. But for example, a 16-hour fast in a mouse produces unbelievable results. So if you take a group of, certain types of mice or strains of rats or other rodents, and you, in a 24-hour period, deprive them of any nutrient for 16 hours, but then for 8 hours let them eat whatever the hell they want, they can't gain weight. So, and the reason we think is that once you give a long enough period of time when the animal can ramp up its the enzymes in the liver that are responsible for fat oxidation, I mean, they just basically become fat burn. I hate that term, fat burning machine. It's so overused, but they basically just become unbelievably efficient at metabolizing fat. So we have to be careful though when we extrapolate that, because you and I have a very different metabolism than a mouse. Like a 16-hour fast to a mouse is much longer than it is to us. So I don't know if those benefits would extend. Also, it's not entirely clear that time-restricted feeding will produce the longevity benefit that we see in other sort of fasting or fasting mimicking types of diets. So for me, what it comes down to is, I mean, honestly, it's just an easier way. It gives me a much more liberty with what I eat during my feeding window. I don't have to be nearly as restrictive when I'm feeding if I have that period off. It just in terms of like my physiologic response. Secondly, there's a convenience thing. Like, I kind of hate being tethered to eat. I like knowing that, hey, if I get into a pinch, like, I don't have to eat right now. If I'm sitting on the airplane and they're serving dog shit, I don't have to eat. I can wait another 5 hours until I eat. I also just feel much more steady in my energy levels. I kind of vaguely remember like 10 years ago when I was kind of like eating a normal diet, how I always had this lull in energy after lunch. Like, there was the post-lunch, pre-dinner, I just don't feel good. Like, not that I feel bad, but like, I'm not sharp. I'm not in my A game. And I don't even remember what that feels like anymore, which is not to say I feel great all the time, but I definitely don't have that vacillating energy level.